the money. Money.
There it is. We're live.
Yo.
Tokens. Welcome,
What's
everybody.
up, everybody?
Thanks for joining. I'm Adam. There's John in the middle, Simple Crypto John, and Mr. Mike in the red shirt. You are tuning in to Talkin' Tokens on a Tuesday. What a good Tuesday it is for the crypto markets, at least a crypto week. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Tracking the markets, watching Bitcoin do its thing.
It's doing its thing. We got from the last time we ran the show. Let's pull this bad boy up here. What were we at? We were at 60,793. So let's make a little edit. I love editing this the right way.
63,423.
63423, and ETH made a big move at 64627. So
dude, it's breaking out right now. 46. Yeah.
Right.
Live on this. I'm live on the show.
Yeah, it's making moves today.
So we got all-time high
ETH.
busted out on all fronts. Bitcoin hit its all-time high last week, right after our show, and it's now broken out as of last night. It made like a little move. It kind of consolidated a little bit, and then it broke out again. And I think it's retesting its 63,000 resistance that it was kind of breaking out. But Ethereum, yeah, look at that thing.
Right. I mean, that was kind of like, to my surprise, looking at the chart here. I see blast off.
Is it all-time high?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
44. It was 4,400 before. Now it's at 4631. I mean, it's still going. It's already closed a candle above. So
yeah, this is leading the charge right now. I mean, there was a lot of coins all going up. Everything's really positive. Bitcoin. Here's that resistance I was talking about.
Hell yeah.
We broke out here.
There we go.
Made a little triangle, symmetrical triangle, then broke out again. And now we're kind of testing this yellow line, which was kind of a resistance from a couple, touches back here. But
okay.
The next little, it's just gonna chill for a little bit, and then we're off to the races again, up to the all-time high, which was set again last week at 66,999 according to the Coinbase exchange. So we have all good things. We're setting all-time highs. We're breaking resistances. We didn't do any like major regression back down to the bone zone down here in this yellow box. There were people thinking maybe it would touch that again. It did touch it. You can see it.
Oof.
We were expecting it to kind of go down here.
Really great.
There was actually a really crazy wick that happened. You can see this big one right here. This I'm going to zoom in. How do I move it up? Come on, move up. Oh, I'm on auto. That's why. So right here, it would like flash crash down, and then immediately got absorbed and picked back up, and then next thing you know, you're breaking out. So bulls are in control. Very cool.
Ride that bull.
We're on our way up. Looking at the
yes, sir. Market caps.
Yeah, the market caps. I think this is just we got some fresh new faces.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, SHIB overtook Doge formally.
Okay.
It wasn't there last week, and now it is.
Right.
They're still pretty neck and neck overall, but it's here. It's arrived. New top 10.
Yeah, no, it'll break out soon enough. It'll get away from Doge. I think a lot of people trying to get out of their Doge. They're just holding on to it and just hoping for it to go up. It just looks like every time it spikes up a little bit, up to like 30 cents, it just kind of is a sell-off. People are just trying to cash out and get into other things.
Yeah, it looks to be easily manipulated, with big holders. That was kind of like the gripe before. That you
kind of say that, but look what it's been doing. It's not going like extraordinary fast, but it's on.
No, it's still on an upward projection. Yeah.
So maybe slower. Yeah, like it's headed towards 34, maybe by the end of this month.
Which everybody was thinking, Doge by the end of the year $1, but we hit like 75, and then it's like come back down. So
right. So it hasn't been this
maybe 35, 45.
I read an article today. They think 0.5 by the end of the year is
I would say that's not unrealistic.
It seems to move with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin starts rolling like we think it's about to, then Doge probably will follow a little bit. But yeah, maybe not the explosive exponential growth that we once saw back over on this side. So
yeah. Well, I mean, apparently this time has been very good for Bitcoin. The October 31st to like the December 31st, with like medium out of 10 years, the median return is 38%, which is nice because it's like a Fibonacci number also. And that was with a risk rate of 30%. So 3 out of 10 times it would be a negative return between that time period. But since we're in an uptrend and we're over the 200 SMA right now, the simple moving average, and we can kind of eliminate 2 of those downtrend years, which would give us right around the same amount of median return of 38%, but it cuts our risk in half down to like 14%. So, I mean, I can almost say that's like a sure thing, That would be putting us at a price prediction of 85,227 by December 31st.
85,000?
Yeah. As long as it's staying over the simple moving average of the 200 moving average, which is like 45K. So, I mean, I think that's definitely going to hold.
Yeah, sounds reasonable. That's dope.
Yeah, 85 seems like, I mean, we could do that in like 2 or 3 days. But
right. So, I mean, that doesn't mean we can't. That's just the median. It still can be exceeded, I would believe. And then,
or yeah, maybe it'll settle by then, or it pops up, it comes back down.
Right. And then if we analyze the data from December 31st to March 31st, which is like the beginning of spring, it's a median risk of return of 48%. So you're getting a little bit more there. So 48% of what 85,227 is 126. So spring 2020, the numbers kind of show 125K, kind of area.
I think from a technical analysis standpoint, this was the first time we've closed. These are monthly candles, so this is the first time you're not seeing it.
Yeah, when you see the chart.
This is the first time we've closed the monthly candles above 60,000. So even when we hit the previous all-time high,
right, it just touched and went back down. Right,
we closed here. So technically, we've had now a closed month above 60,000 for the first time ever. We've closed above the previous one, and now we're in the second one. But the last time, or historically, when we've done that in the past, from bull market to the start of the next run up, it's when we've closed over the previous all time high, and then it just goes boom, boom, boom for the next to the end of the cycle. So that's like a massive bullish signal for Bitcoin in the market, and obviously Ethereum kind of leading the charge on this. Sometimes that's a positive sign that it's also breaking out. So let's roll.
Yeah, I mean, people want to invest money. People, they're interested. They're learning. Probably more accounts than ever have been created. So it's just it could be part of the Shiba effect too. Shiba draws.
Yeah, maybe. I think part of the Shiba magic is the fact that it gets like just normal retail people, like we're talking like teens and kids and young adults into crypto they normally wouldn't have.
Yep.
Brings them into the space. I think that's kind of magic behind it, and I think that's the big momentum behind Shiba.
And Shiba is like the coin that I've talked to people that I wouldn't expect to be in crypto, but they're like, "So you got Shiba?" Like they
right.
It's exactly. Like a keyword, and you just hear it. The average person at least understands.
The average Joe. Big Bob Joe at the gas station.
Right. So yeah, I mean, Shiba, it seems like it's consolidating. Right now it's just kind of
it looks pretty reliable. Just like
it's waiting. Yeah, it's kind of waiting for its next little move, one way or the other. But it's probably going to go up, I would think. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the last rally, it's kind of exactly the same. It's like it shot up, kind of dropped back down, and just kind of oscillated like a spring. Pretty reliable.
I mean, it's great to see it just consolidating in that level. I mean, it's not like we touched before, we went back down. We haven't had much FUD. China's kind of out of the way. Regulatory people here said they're not going to ban it. We got ETFs and stuff coming. So it's just.
So if this little triangle is real, which is pretty symmetrical at this point, I mean, it's going to decide where it wants to go in the next couple of days here.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
And that would mean like the price target. Let's see if it broke out here.
Watch, it's going to be 85,000.
Well, yeah, the last all-time high was like 90, right?
Yeah, it was right here at 88.70 according to FTX. This is what I'm looking at it on. But so look, we would basically this price target, if it broke out somewhere on here, it'd be close to closing another zero.
Yeah, that's the goal. Let the zeros melt away.
So SHIB's looking good. I think Matic was making some moves last week. I know you're happy about that, John. Looks like it's kind of doing it. It's chasing its. I don't think the all-time high is anywhere close yet. I think it's maybe that.
I think it's 220.
Yeah, I think all-time high is $2 something, right?
Yeah, I think that's what I marked right here. This purple line, I believe.
222 maybe. Yeah, depending on what exchange.
Yeah, 272 is what this FTX had.
272
is what FTX had.
Okay, cool. Got a little bit of way to go, but
it's on the charge. I mean, everyone's doing the same thing. It's all approaching it.
Besides ADA. ADA's been like
ADA. So ADA, yeah. I mean, damn.
ADA's under $2 now.
ADA's probably gonna be flat for the rest of the year. There just isn't that much momentum.
I see, like I made this big red line right here, this resistance. So it's basically bottoming. It's stable at this 0.19, basically. You see how many times it's touched this line.
Right, but the more time you test it, the more likely it is to break. But yeah, I know.
So this big red line is basically like where I'm kind of tracking it. So if it doesn't decide what it's going to do right here, if it goes down, let's
not break down.
Right. This is since August, so that's a big move one way or the other, and I'm hoping it's not downward.
Then August had like the smart contract launch, Alonzo fork, all this pump up, and then FUD, and then just I don't know what else.
There's really not that much news coming out with data. I mean, I think it's just gonna be flat for the rest of the year.
Well,
keep an eye on it.
I mean, like historically, yeah. Look at what it's done. Since the beginning of 2021, it just made this. It's never kind of chilled. So,
I mean, year to date, it's still up 1,000%. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like I think I'm hoping it doesn't go down, but if it does, I'm buying more. You bet your ass. I'm not giving.
Right. I mean, under $2 is probably not a bad target. I mean, or because you're saying you're right at that, or you got to wait for it to get to that inflection point, and then if it tanks out, then you wait, and then if not, then you go, or you buy the breakout, right?
Yeah. So hasn't been moving, but you're right. There hasn't been a whole bunch of. I think there's a thing called Hydra, which they're trying to implement, which is like a layer 2 protocol to allow faster, cheaper transactions, just like the things we've seen on these other like Lightning Network and Loopring. I think is one for Ethereum right now. Is another layer 2 transaction.
Yeah, the DEX that like queries all the other DEXs or something.
Yeah, so they're coming up with something called Hydra, which I think they're going to release to solve that challenge for them. So
Bitcoin hash rate is just like spiked in the last day or two. We are back to like 180 exahash, which is the all-time high is 195. So that's a good sign.
All-time high or near the
No. The all-time high is like 195, and we were just back on November 1st. We were at 135, and we are currently sitting at 179. So I mean that's some major improvement of maybe stuff that went offline in China, or maybe it's been offline that other people are picking back up, or the U.S. with their 35% chunk, or Kazakhstan or whoever else, Russia. It's just good to see that the network increasing. And when we see those increases too, the miner signals, right, when those flash, then Bitcoin tends to do well. So I mean, I'm, not overly bullish just because, but it looks like the fundamentals, and kind of stuff behind it are showing good things. And the fear in crypto right now, I mean, we are at extreme greed, but 76, we're not that high.
So this is, speaking of miners, Marathon Digital Holding is a mining company, but they're showing 457 million in Bitcoin after increase in October mining. Their production rose 23%. If you trade them on the stock market, they were blasting off just since Bitcoin made it.
I bought them at like 40, and it's at like 60 now, I think.
Right. So I mean, if you're looking for a way to kind of test or get into it, I mean, look at its performance since May. It's just been rocking and rolling. It just broke out I think that's its new all-time high right now. It just today.
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
So it's gonna, where's that gonna go? I made a lot of money on that. I remember one of my coworkers mentioned that on our show one day, so that was a cool find. But 14% move, and they're obviously adding to their holding. They're buying. They had $100 million revolving line of credit to buy more miners. So just continuing
making the Michael Saylor plan.
Yep. Just continuing to mine and maintain the asset. So speaking of
your asset, borrowed against it, create debt, sell the equities in your company, and then just use that for more Bitcoin.
Speaking of Microstrategy, they add 9,000 Bitcoins to its holding in the third quarter. So just over $7 billion of Bitcoin holdings in MicroStrategies, continuing to add more and more to his holdings. And yeah, Mike, I was watching that interview today. That was really cool. We should. Yeah. Did you post that on the site?
Which one? The interview with James or the other one? No, that's the one that I sent you, right?
The interview. Yeah.
I think I posted it under a comment of one of the posts, but I can post it up there too, like just so everybody can see it.
Yeah, just really cool to hear his thoughts on what you can do, and if you're like a dentist, he's like, if you're a really good dentist and you make $300,000 in revenue, like find a way to mortgage your company and take out a loan, $10 million loan on a $300,000 revenue and buy Bitcoin, and then just like sit back and relax. Like, I mean, that's how aggressive he is on it. But it's like, why would you ever want to hold the dollar when you have a negative 17% interest rate? If you're just holding it right now, or not interest rate, but inflation rate.
Yeah.
So MicroStrategy continues to add on to their holdings, which is just cool.
I mean, he's saying it's pretty much the apex property rights is Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's digital. He did say one thing. He was like, okay, so you have your phones. Here, let me go over here so we can discuss this. So he's like, you have your phones. Like Apple, the company is so valuable because they have Apple products, and everyone has an Apple phone, and you got Facebook and all these companies that have digital platforms that are so valuable. He's like, imagine if you digitized your house, imagine if you digitized land, and imagine if you digitized other properties, like, and you put it on your phone, like, what would that company be valued at?
Be worth, right.
So that's
even just being able to have like a crypto, what does allow you to do with digital assets, the conservation and storage of energy digitally. I mean, so if you have, $2 billion in net worth in your wallet that's just linked through your phone, I mean, that's or on your phone, that increases the value of whoever the company is that is making that product, right? In some way.
So it was a good kind of metaphor on how the way things are getting digitized and they turn into things on your wallet, and how that relates to just being able to value it in a different sense. This other website here on MicroStrategy, I was just messing around their website, but they show like Bitcoin versus, and you can pretty much take like any of the top stocks and just see how it's performed against it over the last like 12 months, 1, 2, 3, 5 years. And I mean, everything is
Just blows everything out of the water.
underperforming. Yeah. I mean, it's just funny. You could look at gold, silver. I mean, everything's like 80% at the moment for at least the 12 months. But if you wanted to see, hey, like what if I did look at something else over the last couple of years? I mean, it's been blowing it out. So right now it's obviously the last 12 months it's hard to look at, or hard to compare to with its return. So interesting strategy there. Mike, you sent me this one. Deadmau5 going to get some digital and physical art using the Solana and blockchain with an NFT drop. So he's teaming up with Studio Looks Rare, which I think what they're going to do is sell art, like a physical piece of art, some kind of form of art, and then you also get an NFT version of it, a digital version of it. So you get the physical and the NFT, and you walk away from like the show with both, which is kind of interesting take on art collection.
Yep.
So I tried to look up Looks Rare. I couldn't really find too much about them, but I'm assuming this is like what they're trying to do. It says a new metaverse studio. I couldn't really find too much about it, but interesting take on the NFT side.
Yeah, neat.
And on Solana,
He's giving these away.
Say that again, John.
So he's giving those away at a show, or how does that work?
Yeah, he's doing a show at the Red Rocks.
Okay.
In Colorado, and it doesn't really say what kind of art. It just says there'll be both physical art and a digital collectible. So I think it'll probably be the piece, and then you'll get like a 3D NFT of the piece, I would imagine. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
And it's on the Solana network, which we know Solana is doing very well right now. So very cool.
Yeah, they're like $200 right now.
Damn.
We don't need this one. This one I thought was pretty funny. This CryptoPunk mistakenly sells for 99% discount.
Damn.
Ooh.
So a guy bought this CryptoPunk with the tiara right here. At one point, he bought it for 60 ETH for about $135,000 at the time in July. He was trying to offer it for 8,880 ETH, so 31 million. That's what he was trying to sell it for. And somehow he listed it for 4.4.
Oh, jeez.
So they think he was trying to cut it in half, 4.440, not 4.44 period.
Right, so he sold it for 4.44 ETH.
So he lost, like 56,000 or 56 ETH, which is, I mean, I don't know. That could have been a lot to him, or maybe it wasn't a lot, but he was clearly trying to make a shit ton of money on it and lost a lot of money on it.
That's $250,000.
Yeah,
I know what that feels like. I know what that feels like.
Right. So the person who bought it paid a priority ETH mining fee of 3.3 ETH to get it, to make sure.
Oh, wow. So then it just like instantly confirmed.
Right. Like, so some miner was like, yeah. And then he was like, I'll do anything to buy this right now for 4.4.
Right. I mean, that's just, if you put it up for that.
Right. So, and then now that guy has immediately listed it for 325 ETH, which is a cool, calm $1.4 million. So I don't know if he sold it yet, but shit, you take 4.4 and turn it into 325. That'd be cool. So kind of got robbed, but.
I mean, hey, he fat fingered it.
You can't fat finger your Ethereum.
I mean, if you put something on eBay and you put $1, or or if you do no reserve or something, it's just like you're taking.
I mean, there's got to be a confirmation page. Like, are you sure you want to put it in?
Right, and he's like, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, did you rush an $800,000 transaction? Like,
yeah. So maybe he thought he was reading in millions or thousands, or I don't know, but.
Yeah, maybe it was that. Like he thought it was 444,000, but then it's denominated in ETH.
Right. So anyway, just there was also another NFT story that the highest sold NFT, but according to the story, the guy sold it to himself.
What?
Or
What does
sold
that
it to
mean?
Yeah. But
sold
is
it-
that is he trying to then set the bar, the precedent for later? So it's like
I
sell
mean,
it
I
to
guess
yourself.
on the record it shows that it sold for 500,000 ETH, but it's not really didn't really change hands, you know.
Interesting.
I guess that was his strategy, maybe to make some news. So, John, here's a little page for you. Shiba enters top 10, flips Dogecoin, and obviously we've seen its movement, and we've been following that, which is really cool. But there were some things here, is like if you buy Doge, non-fixed digital asset with poor standardization, insecure shitcoin, has no rise in hash rate even when the price was going up. So that means, you know, miners or people supporting the nodes and stuff it's not getting any more secure with more hash rate is what I thought.
Oh yeah, what happened to your node, Doge node?
I'm still going. I'm running it right now. Yeah, it's still rock and
Okay.
rolling.
All right, you're noding it.
So I'm invested.
Right. That's good for a little boost.
Right. And then it says if you buy SHIB, you know, it's just all the things we talked about. It has ways to stake it. It has ways to make yields. It's not controlled by Elon. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So just people pointing out that SHIB has function. Smart wallets are holding it. Doge and SHIB together are worth more than all of the DeFi. So like just the market caps on both of those are, you know, just amazing.
Wow.
So just continues to make moves. And then let's go. If you guys have watched Squid Games, although this is unrelated to Netflix and the real Squid Games, this was just some Squid token that was developed. Had pretty much a rug pull over the weekend.
Yep.
Went from $2,800
to
zero in less than 15 minutes.
That's wild.
And
was it actually a rug pull? Is it actually gone, or like what's the story?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what they're saying, there was right here, this Squid Game official. Someone's trying to hack our project. They're talking about smart contracts and how much pressure they were under and all this stuff. Sorry again, but so that was the official communication from the people, but the developer.
Or are they just running like interference because they're the one like taking all the funds or something? Like someone's trying to hack us.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But I mean, the money's gone. Developers
break the cookie, freeze. Oh,
yeah. So it's like the developers aren't, you know, they're no longer, you know, supporting it, and all the money's gone. So this is again an example of just don't put your money in weird, wacky things. From 28,600 to 7/700ths of a penny in a few seconds. So wow.
Has there been anyone from the team to comment on it afterwards? Like, I just want to know if it actually is a rug pull, or if like they actually just ran into an issue and like, oh fuck, we give up.
I mean, go look at this channel on Telegram. But I think what I was reading was like, no, this was like the last communication. It was like, hey, there's someone trying to hack our project, but they haven't been like explaining it or communicating. So it's probably them. It's probably the developers that have kind of gone off the radar. So just amazing.
Interesting. No, I'm surprised people are still pulling these rug pulls, you know?
Well, I mean, if you get anybody to just buy into your wannabe token, and then you're like, wow, we got this much money. Should we just walk away from this? We're not really trying to support that.
Right. I mean, you got to trust the people that you give the keys to all the funds. I mean, a liquidity pool, if it's like a DAO or if it's written off code, is it written right? Who's the one? You know, that's the point of crypto and being decentralized. You know, you don't want some bank just saying, oh, well, you know,
put in
we find you illegal or something. We're taking all your funds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if you have the capability of putting together, you know, a token and your own ecosystem, it's like, why aren't you using it for good? You know, I feel like most people probably would.
Well, you can't.
Well, there's so many people that just want to get cash.
Unfortunately, yeah, the scams are like huge.
I mean, you got to think about long term, though. I mean, if you keep that project going, I don't know what the project's about, but I'm sure there was some, thing to it. I mean, if you
there
kept
has
it
to
going,
be incentive, I guess. But people are just willing to throw their money in just to be like, oh well, I'm going to get this great return, risk and reward, right? I mean, you got to calculate your risk based upon what reward you're trying to get, and where are you at, and what can you throw at it. But
well, it's kind of like
right. I'm sure some people caught it right and rode it all the way from $10 to 2,000.
Right. Imagine like going that high and being like, "Wow, I just made a whole bunch of money." Then you sell, and then you're like, next day it's all
this is too good to be true. Oh well, I'm just gonna wait one more day, or like, no. I mean, if you went from 5 to 2,000, it's like sell that shit or sell something.
Yeah, that's true. Shoot, I saw a video of like a live streamer watching like the funds go down. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was like a viral video.
On that particular coin?
Yeah, on the squid token.
Okay.
Like streaming, and he does like this really funny sounding yell. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but
oh yeah, squid token rug pull live maybe.
Yeah, this dude was like streaming some sort of video game, and like he's watching the rug pull like right in front of him while it's live.
Wow, I post that on the page later. I'd like to see that.
Oh man, it's like the biggest green candle you've ever seen. And then it just literally dropped all the way down to 0. And the guy's like, what? Oh no. What's going on? Really, dude, no way. It literally Burj Khalifa, like.
Yeah, opposite direction. Wow. Yeah, if you put your money in like right before that happened, that would suck. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, you FOMO'd in at 2,000. What'd you think it was going to? Come on, now,
right.
Let's use some sense here. I mean,
so quick little update here on the Bitcoin distribution. If you're sitting at like 0.1 to 1, which I'm sure probably a lot of our users on our channel are, 6%. If you're like 1, if you got over 1, if you're a coiner, you're like in the 1%. Most people sitting down here, 0.001. So interesting little spread there. You can get in and hold. Looking good. One thing it didn't show earlier was just the regular old stock market. It's back over up to the line, making new all-time highs again. So S&P 500 just rock and rolling.
I think it's still just inflated. I mean, it's probably artificial. Do you really think it's going to just continue to go up while they just keep printing money? I mean, how does that affect prop up these markets? We know these are heavily manipulated markets. So they just, someone's pulling the levers. Yes, it has been a pretty good store of value, the S&P, for the past, 10 some years. Just like when does the house of cards crumble down?
I guess we didn't talk about this either. The mana and metaverse.
Oh yeah, Decentraland and Meta's now pulling a Google and Alphabet, and then getting away from Facebook and being like, oh, old people use that. We'll just be called Meta, and into the metaverse. Mana, whatever it had raised, right? Decentraland jumped up big time, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was like the announcement pretty much, just about last week, and then whoop, so it's making big moves. I don't really know too much about the metaverse yet. I need to learn more. I'm just not a big fan of like Zuckerberg in general.
Yeah, well, I think like Decentraland is its own kind of thing, which is a virtual world, and they talked about people buying property, and there's NFTs that are in the world, and you just, some people or like it's kind of like a matrix thing, like people are going to want to like leave this world for that world or something, and then just be part of the metaverse. And I guess maybe you could choose which one, or you could like portal through to the different ones, or or you just be hooked up to an Oculus, and now like you're a battery that like makes Bitcoin, and you just function in the metaverse.
It'd be like a giant game of like World of Warcraft, except like you can't do spells and shit.
You're just like an ogre trading gold coin to a knight or something.
I mean,
Popular version of World of Warcraft.
yeah, I mean, virtual reality are clearly the next step for a lot of the stuff. So digitize your life, digitize everything else. Just digitize yourself.
See where that will get you.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Let's take a moment to thank all our subscribers. We're at 485 as of today.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Up from like 445.
15 to go.
So the 500th follower, we'll
give it away.
A giveaway somehow. I guess we'll do like a name drop, and I don't know.
Yep. We're going to give away John Shiba. Come on.
Giving away John Shiba.
Give away my Shiba hat.
So you need to have Shiba hat. I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah, I can barely. It's like so low resolution, I can barely see it.
It's like kind of faded. It's part of the graphics, I guess.
Nice.
It looks like an angry Shiba. I guess it is kind of angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Doge killer, remember?
Yep. So 485.
15 to go. Tell your friends, tell your family, anybody. Just tell somebody. Say, hey, it's time to get into crypto. Do you want to still live your life one fiat dollar to the next? No. Start stacking sats. Start figuring out what is the Apex property rights. What has value to everybody everywhere in the world? Like, it's cool to own a building in Manhattan and be a billionaire, but that's only going to be cool to other people in Manhattan that own, property. But then what does a billionaire in, Beijing care about? Property in Manhattan. He doesn't care, but Bitcoin is universally wanted and desired by everybody. And it is inclusive of everybody. Everybody can be a part of it. And it will last longer than a building will ever last.
Right. You can liquidate 100 billion in Bitcoin immediately.
Yeah.
And you couldn't liquidate 100 million in properties.
Right. That would take years. It would take a year or 2 or 3 to sell a building.
So it's
you can't move a building.
Yeah, there was another thing like with regulations, like you buy a property in New York and they change their laws. They change their taxes,
laws.
They change the way
subject to the jurisdiction
are done. And then
now they have the vaccine mandate.
Now you can't move your building, but you can move your store of value.
Right. What about when they tell you, oh, we're going to take it for eminent domain? What about when they tell you, oh, you can't kick your renters out? So now you're subject to the jurisdiction, the mayor, the governor, the council, the HOA, everybody, so it's something to think about. And there's a maintenance cost of keeping it. So what is the cost of keeping the building up and running? And make some pretty good cases for, Bitcoin, but crypto, in general.
Yep, I don't disagree.
Just how to get more of it. What are we going to do as an average person?
Well, I don't know. Take a home equity loan. Take out a big loan. If you took out a loan, a giant loan at 30 when Bitcoin was at 30K, I mean, you've already doubled up within 2 months and paid off the loan. And now you still have the asset. So, or maybe you refinance it for a lower percentage.
Would a home equity loan allow you to buy Bitcoin?
I don't think it matters. The money's yours. I mean,
it just gives you cash.
Right. So cash out. However you can get cash. Mortgage your house, mortgage your business, do something. Get
disclaimer,
Bitcoin.
This is not financial advice. This is
way better than financial advice.
Way better. There you go. Right. This is called the sailor plan.
Mike's like, sell your house, sell your kids, do everything. Just do it.
The Bitcoin Bitcoin is coming, because it demonetizes other assets too, because everybody's money that is in certain things are going to then flow into Bitcoin, especially in other countries that are, that are less developed, which have weak property rights or weak currencies. All that money would flow into an asset that is going to hold the value, which we see like kind of in El Salvador, like what's happening. They're converting a lot of their dollars into Bitcoin.
And there was another discussion about, again, all the Bitcoin is there's 21 million Bitcoin that would be made, but there are known Bitcoin losses, like wallets that people die or deceased, people lose private keys. So there's kind of this estimated deflationary impact of how many Bitcoins are available for trade. And that number is going to go significantly down as you get to 2040. So we think about like there's 13 million right now kind of floating around estimated, but eventually it's going to work its way down to like 8,000 if the same rate of
8 million
are made. 8 million. 8 million.
Right. Yeah. So it says coins lost per annum is 4%, and coins lost to date 3,700,000, and total loss from Satoshi lockup and is like close to 5 million. And then mine to date is close to 18.8 million with a net balance of around 13. So
right now
it's just numbers. It's just numbers. I mean, there's also like 46,000 millionaires in the world. It's like there's not enough coins, or 46 million millionaires. There's not enough coins for everybody.
If every person in the world has a wallet, everyone has a little piece of Bitcoin at 8 million Bitcoins. That's like, just imagine the demand. There won't be enough for everyone to be a coiner. There won't be enough for everyone to have half a coin.
Right. You just think everybody that's a millionaire has the funds to do it, but if they're just not, if they don't pull that trigger soon enough, then they maybe will not be able to get what they want. Numbers game.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong about that.
I do kind of want to. I wish I had more time to do some other altcoin research just to try to find the next like up and coming little thing. But it's just you got to spend a lot of time, just like with stocks. If you're trying to find like a new up and coming stock, it takes some time to filter out all the information to get like on the early track.
Right. Well, I mean, I think ADA is kind of like one of those, obviously. Or but yeah, I mean, you're saying just something else. I'm just going to look at anything that's deflationary that has a set fixed supply. I mean, Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin. It has a fixed supply of 21 million. So that's only at like $600.
Like,
so
see,
that has potential to jump up.
Looking at like these, like by trending or by biggest gainers, like could you ever find one of these that are like little floki, like some dumb coin that is basically made off of Elon's little dog? It's like there's floki and then there's like low floki and then there's and then mini floki ADA. So like what the hell?
Shiba being one of them.
I mean, it definitely started, kind of that way. There's if you go all the way to the end of this market cap list, there's like at least the last 7 of them were Shiba Inu coin knockoffs. Let me see here.
I mean, a couple. I mean, I guess you just have to look at like your chart. You got to look at your chart analysis. Look at Avalanche, dude. This is back on January 1st. It was like $3, and then now it's at like 70. I mean, that would be that's a pretty nice gain. So it's just like certain projects are just have caught on and continue to run, and then you can kind of see it maybe in their fundamentals and then the chart analysis.
Right. I mean, those if it's on this like front page, it's probably got it's out there, but not necessarily
Right, yeah. I came across
Or-
Avalanche when we were doing our fantasy football stuff, and I was like, oh, that'd probably be cool, but I don't know much about it. It's kind of risky. But then I've just kept an eye on it, and I'm like, wow, it's a network of 3 blockchains that, is popular for like smart contracts, and it can have an output of like 6,500 transactions per second without compromising scalability. So it's just like, those are just some things as like the fundamentals of it. And if you discover it and you believe in it, then maybe throw some money into it and see what happens.
I mean, I think there's been a lot of coins with those huge gains. You just don't necessarily notice it,
Yeah, I mean, because people just ride the wave, and you have to buy the news, sell the rumor.
Like, look at this Taboo token. I think we looked at this a long time ago. It's like an NFT for like porn, basically. But you buy NFT of girls, but look at it, 3,924% in the last 30 days.
It's wild.
Yeah,
if you just looked at this like trending box, like the sandbox, I've never really messed around with that, never really read about it. But if you happen to just monitor some of these things, and whether you believe in the end goal or not, or it's just a way to make some quick money, like it'd be cool to find a way to get in it. But
yeah, I mean, I think you just have to use the market cap, Gecko and all those like sites, just to kind of keep an eye on those coins that are in the top 100, to then chase them up into the top 20, or as you said, find the ones that are just like 0.00000 something, throw $1,000 into 10 of them, and then just hope one of them just goes off. And if you hit the one that goes off, that goes up 56 million%, I mean, now you're who cares about the other money you lost? You've already just blast off.
as we've always talked about, it's always, where do you go to get it? Can you exchange? Can you liquidate it if it were to go up really high?
Yep.
Hey, so John, the other day when I sent you that text message about Shiba to USDC, I had a friend that was trying to sell Shiba, and let me get out of this. The friend was trying to sell Shiba. He was trying to sell like $1,000 of Shiba, but it was going to charge him $1,000 of gas fee to sell it on Coinbase wallet.
That's weird.
Was it because the gas fee was just high at the time?
I mean, I guess it's possible, but how could that possibly be the gas fee for?
And was it adjustable? Because some people don't know it's adjustable. So like Coinbase could be like, oh, well, we know you have to send it at this rate for it to confirm fast enough for people not to like bitch at us. So maybe based upon how much he was selling, that was giving the rate, and that's how high the rate was at that time. But in other wallets, you can then adjust that rate depending on how quick or how slow you want it to be sent.
But I mean, even if that was the case, it would be weird for Coinbase to immediately like suggest the worst possible gas fee. Like I'm sure they're doing like an average gas fee to like close it by 30 minutes or something like that. But even so, I mean, what the hell is going on that would require $1,000 of gas to convert $1,000 of something to something else? Like he was trying to go from Shiba, which is an Ethereum token, to USDC, which is, I think that's based on Ethereum too.
Yeah,
but,
it's weird. I don't know. I mean, I've been selling Shiba, and honestly, I'm just not really paying attention to fees or whatever. So hopefully, I'm not losing $1,000
each time.
Well, I mean, he was like, "What the hell am I supposed to do this?" I was like, I don't even know what you can do because you can't move it without gas. So like, I thought maybe it was because he was in a Coinbase wallet. So you're off, you're private keyed, you're on your own wallet. You're not really on an exchange where maybe they don't gas fee you because it never leaves them. It just kind of goes from their account to their account. You know what I mean? If it's on
Coinbase wallet is more like a DEX.
Custodial, and they're just like, and they can kind of move. You can convert back and forth for Coinbase fees, but not gas.
So he should just move it from the Coinbase wallet to Coinbase for free and then try it.
Well, no, because he can't move it from the wallet to Coinbase for free. There's still transactional fees. You still have to
Yeah,
pay
it's
gas.
separate.
You still have to pay gas to get it from your wallet because your wallet.
They do Coinbase Pro to Coinbase for free. So I mean, I guess maybe the wallet
But that's exchange
leaving
to
their
exchange. If you're
right,
going
it's
from
leaving their
private
it's
keys
leaving
to
their
their
custody.
custodial, yeah,
Right, it's leaving their custody.
So he that's what I'm saying. Like you can't. You're stuck. Like you have this Shiba and he can't release it without paying an extraordinary amount of fees. So what is the
When was
solution?
that?
This was like when last week when Shiba went kind of to the moon.
Oh yeah.
He was like, I'm going to take out my profit, which was like 1,000. So he had like 10 grand and he wanted to just take back what he put in, but he couldn't even do that because it was going to cost him $1,000 to do it.
Well, I mean, that's why they had the EIP like in the change for Ethereum and trying to keep the gas prices down.
I get it.
Because they
how
had all those issues before.
Well,
that's the issue with the chain. That's the issue with the chain. Maybe that'll hold back Ethereum for a bit. Maybe, Bitcoin, someone just sent $2 billion for 78 cents. So fuck with me. Excuse my language.
Well, Shiba is on the Ethereum network, so all the Shiba action that's been happening adds to the Ethereum.
Right. Well, there you go. When everybody's doing it, that's part of it. Can you sell it? Can you get it out? Can you liquidate it?
I thought it was absolutely bonkers that even possible that could have been proposed. Like that's a gas fee you have to pay the equivalent amount, and it wasn't even really related. Like I tried to just verify it and move some chain link off of Coinbase wallet I have, and it was like to move $300 was like $75 or something like that. So I believe
it sounds yeah. I mean, you always have to. You got to plan your moves, and you got to see what time of day is the highest fees.
And the problem is you can't get ETH to your Coinbase wallet without moving it from somewhere else, and you got to move it.
Right. Well, that's part of it. You got to pay to play. You got to just have money even to like have the assets. And I haven't bought a lot of those other things because of those things. I get my stuff through mining, or like I know where to get it from the exchanges, where I don't have to because I mean you're losing from your bottom line moving all your shit around.
I guess the long story is like if you're planning to sell it on an event where it goes up,
you got to keep some hot.
You got to put it on
the exchange. Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's why those signals show whether or not people are buying or selling. How much was moved to the exchange? Okay.
Because
how much was taken off the exchange?
Moment, he chose to put it on this wallet, which maybe that's where he bought it at some point, but you shouldn't buy it there. You should buy it on the exchange so you don't have to move it.
Correct. Or just
learn and
plan that out. But
your HODL versus your exchange portfolio.
I mean, if you made 10 grand and you had one and you paid two, I mean, you still have $8,000 profit.
I mean, I guess maybe he could do it today and it wouldn't be so high, but it would just boggle my mind.
What is the price? The price goes down. Right.
Right. It was even possible that could have occurred. But so lesson learned to the people out there.
These are the issues we have with certain blockchains and
scalability. We always like encourage people that not your keys, not your coin, and private keys are important for your
comes at a cost
portion of your portfolio, but you shouldn't want to move it because you could come across the fees to move it.
You're the steward of your own keys, and you have to then think about fees and transferring it in time. And
we learned that lesson pretty early on, like when we were trying to figure out which wallet to use, and we were like, "Hey, we're going to send it over here. We're going to send it over here."
Right. We just send it here, and then we send it here.
We spent $100 in a night just trying to spend it to go to Metaverse or MetaMask, and then we moved it over here, and we were all testing them out. Like, man, we're spending a lot of money just moving this shit.
Right. Because it was like $35 to $50 minimum just to move anything. So you're like, oh, well, I'll just buy $50 worth. But then it cost me $50 to send it.
Right. So
a lot of people have a certain amount
that went down.
Exchange.
What was that, John?
Yeah. So as far as trading, I mean, a lot of people just have a certain amount kept on the exchange, and they'll have all the sell orders set ahead of time. Because in a time when everyone's buying and selling, the exchange just might freeze up and just leave work. Yeah. So you gotta have it ahead of time.
You have to have it preloaded. Yeah.
There's even been cases where people had their thing ahead of time and it still didn't go through because
they couldn't capture all that. Well, I mean, you're not guaranteed. Even if you have a seller, you're not guaranteed the order to fill.
Right, but I mean, the higher chance, yeah.
I mean, if you're
Right,
already
but if you
there,
can't access the exchange, then that's way better than
if you had one there.
because most people are like, oh, sheep. Okay, let's do it. Wait, the fees are too high. Wait, Coinbase is down. What do I do? Like,
I mean, it's effectively what happened. He was trying to sell it, trying to cash out, and convert to something stable and wait for make another decision at some point, and he couldn't do it. So he's lost whatever value it lost when SHIB went down 14%. Ever since it went to the all-time highs. And
take a look at that article I just sent you to compare a Bitcoin move.
Let me open up
Signal.
this. Oh, we've never done this view before. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I kind of like that better.
Yeah.
All right, Bitcoin worth 2 million. So yeah, this is what you're saying. So someone had a 78-cent fee just because there was no transactional traffic jam.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, or they set their own fee. Yeah, I mean,
they just said, "I'll wait 4 days to send it."
Yeah, whatever it was.
2 billion.
Yep. So it says an internet fiat transfer often takes 1 to 4 business days to process, includes a hefty transaction fee of 1 to 3%. So on a $2 billion transaction, that would be $20 to $60 million to move on through regular fiat like wire.
It would have costed them 20 to 60 million to wire it.
To wire it, yes, in 1 to 4 days. When this probably settled within within 10 minutes, 1 block.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And that's the power. I mean,
that's the power of Bitcoin, to be able to move it. I mean, so it's like you can store gold up, you can have all this stuff, and then say, oh, well, I want to go to an island. Are you going to be bringing your gold with you to this island?
Maybe.
Wait, you're going through an airport, right? Oh, you can't leave with gold. We got to tax that. Where are you going with that gold? How'd you get the gold?
Hey, we got a comment here.
Yeah.
Coinbase Q3 earning date is November 9th. How do you think they'll do?
Oh, they're blasting off.
Blasting
off. I'm bullish, baby. I'm bullish.
Yeah, Coinbase is making. It's almost. I think it's going to touch its all-time high here.
Yeah,
shortly.
It's going to cup and handle. It'll probably cup and handle from there.
I mean, how could they have not improved? You think users have gone down? Do you think transactions have gone down?
No, their quarterly revenue is in the billions.
Right.
Billions. It went from hundreds of millions to billions.
Shiba just gave them a boost.
Right. So their earnings, let's look at their earnings before. It was right here. There was 2.2 billion in August. And it was 1.8 billion. So if I guess it's this is the one up and coming. So yeah, again, I mean, I can't imagine it going down. There's more people. They opened up Shiba. Shiba had that massive blow up. Like that's right. There's no reason why it would go down.
Yeah, they're making a ton of money off of Shiba.
Exactly. So
I mean, I think they're a good play. I mean, I just kind of followed it down to this valley, and then just was dollar cost averaging in, and then now, I mean, look, it's just kind of popping up, and then I'm sure the Bitcoin effect is good, the ETH effect on it is good, and it's just everybody knows Coinbase. It's been around. They charge you horrendous fees too, so they're just racking in the money every time. People don't know better, right?
Well, I don't think Coinbase fees are bad. I mean, they're like reasonable.
It's like $1.99 to like buy like $50 of like Bitcoin. $1.99.
That's not.
It's a lot. I mean, Swan is like 99 cents, and then once you buy more from them, it's like 60 cents, or it drops down even more.
Okay. I mean,
Coinbase, you set your market limit, it's like 50 cents, and that's probably even still high. So Coinbase, you just go do it yourself. I mean, do you want just like simplicity and click a button? And I mean, it's high. It's a beginner's, kind of exchange.
I mean, they make it easy. It's definitely not the most like user-friendly UI, and
yeah, I mean, and they pay you money to learn things about other
super instant fat. Like when I liquidated coins, it moved it to fiat, like the off ramp. It was fast. So if I really was in a pinch to like,
See, and I've never tried that yet, so I haven't done that. But that's good
Yeah.
to know. If you just had
I've never tested that either.
or if you have the Coinbase card, the debit card, I can set it to spend whatever I want.
I would use it if they would fucking send it to me. I've ordered it. I have signed up. They got the card. It says, "Hey, your card has arrived." Like, set it up, and it's never arrived at my house. And I've asked for it again. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna send you a new card." Never shows
You got
up.
the wrong address.
My address is on the website. Everything is lined up. It's like it will never show up. So, Mike, that's why I had to do that, because I sold when I brought the money from my the house thing, the house repairs. I brought it in, bought ADA, made money. Like, it was all great.
Then you had to sell it to them.
I had to sell it, but then it was in the same day I got $3,000 moved from my Coinbase to my Bank of America,
So
and it was like super, super easy. So that was really positive. I mean, just the way it worked out.
Yeah.
If you had to like get rid of, if you had to liquidate it, at least in that scale, I don't know how it would be like hundreds of thousands of dollars, but if you had to liquidate within like tens of thousands, they made it really easy. So,
hey, Coinbase, I think, is a good play to answer the call. It's not financial advice, but I think, dollar costing average into it and let it roll.
Any predictions for upcoming week?
well, last week we predicted what Bitcoin was going to touch. What did we say? Last week we said 58, or at least I said 58, and I think it hit 56.99. So we kind of missed on that, but not very far off. So my prediction for next week, I think next week is going to be what? It's going to be
the 9th.
The 9th.
I may have to skip, just depending.
I think I have to skip next week too. So maybe
that's my wife's birthday, and I have a baby on the way. So.
Oh, I think you have to skip. Yes, Mike. I think we're officially skipping next week, everybody, because Mike's having a baby. He's got a wife's birthday.
Send me some baby Bitcoin. We'll put it.
I'm playing golf on the 9th, so I probably wouldn't be able to make it up Tuesday anyway.
I may have to skip the baby for golf.
But I guess, John, so November 9th, that's like sitting right here. I think we're new all-time high. I think we touch 70 next 70. We have 70 in the front.
Shit, it's pretty optimistic.
I think it's going to be moving way faster than you think it is.
I'm saying 65.5.
65. I think it's more realistic. I think we're probably going to hit a little bit before 70.
Wait, what did you say, John?
Before 70.
Well, it's at 50, or it's at 63 now, right?
Yeah. So that'd be 7,000.
It's going to be a little bit under 70, probably.
A little under 70, okay.
Yeah, I'd say around there.
Well, but remember our December. High. Yeah. All right, go.
Yeah, go.
Oh, I was just saying the December number was 85,227.
Okay.
So that was
yeah.
December number is, I mean, that's right here, 85 by December. I just think that's too close. It's too close.
Maybe it's too close.
I'm just going off the numbers, based upon the median number of the last 10 years when the simple moving average is over 200, which we currently are over. We're in a bull, and usually it runs during these times.
I mean, look, from October to November, it moved from 30, basically 40. Let's just call it 40. 40,000 to 67.
Yeah.
So in one more month, you don't think we can go from, and that's doubling value. So it's not the same value, it's the price movement. So if we doubled it, 85 is like only a half of a move from here.
Right. So, I mean, remember, that still could be exceeded. So I'm just saying minimal will probably be at 85 as a floor for January 1st. Come spring, I'm saying the floor is going to be.
Right. So I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be above 7.
I think it's maximum.
Maximum?
I think it moves a lot slower than you think.
Okay.
I don't think so, John. I think it's.
But I mean, it'll get there, but I just don't think it's going to be end of year. Like, I don't think we're going to hit 100K. It's just, we've definitely missed that mark.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. As long as it's moving up, I'll take 85.
Yep.
All right. Well, it looks like
I'm gonna log off here.
approaching the time. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Hit like, hit subscribe. We're
Get
very
some subscribers. 500 coming.
Yep, 500 of John's.
Shiba giveaway.
And hopefully you buy it now, John, and it goes up later. We haven't told him how much we're giving away. It might just be one Shiba. You never know.
One Shiba.
That's like less than a cent. It's like might as well here I found lint in my pocket.
500 million Shiba for the.
I think they make you spend like thousands. That's like minimum.
Right. We'll figure. We'll make it worth everybody's money. But until then, appreciate you guys tuning in. We are Simple Crypto. And so are you. Everyone's
keep investing. Invest wisely. Don't invest more than you can lose.
Roll the noise.
Bitcoin, y'all. We don't care about dollar bills, y'all.
All right. Till next time. Adios.
Peace, y'all.